Alright, I'm kind of back with more Final Fantasy 14 for this evening. I'm going to try to stop the Warriors of Darkness, whatever they have planning, but first we have to deal with this whole Titan situation. Okay, where do we have to go? Over here? Quickly, quickly. Crystals. You have them all? Good, lead on, Gabu. This way, this way. Time is short. If you have the crystals, we should move to the next cache. Did you hear me, brother? Brother! Hi, it's just that... Quite certain the crate once bore Ishgardian seals. Someone took great pains to remove all traces, but enough remains to make out the patterns itself. I struggle to imagine kobolds traveling the Conthras to obtain crystals, much less bothering to conceal their origin. Like these crystals were smuggled into Valbrand by another party, likely a pawn of the Ascians, as Thancred speculated. I don't understand. Who are the Ascians? They worship Great Father Titan too. Never you mind that. Fuck, I forgot how to say your name. Olisay? No. But we do have a lot of time. Can you let us to the next cache, Gabu? Yes, of course. Gabu know the way. Next one is the last and very large, very big, very huge, very large. I need to hear it again. Though you cast about for a time, you see no sign of crystals. Found it. What about you, Lions? Any luck? Nothing. This cannot be. Saw them. Spied, spotted, saw. Think, brother, think. Two of them, yes. The question is where to and why. Then Ogumaro. They summoned Titan once before and mean to do so again. This is the only explanation. What about Mother and Father and the others? We have to help them. We will, Gabu. We will. Stay calm and we still have time. They've yet to call for the remaining crates, yes? If they had, then they would have found the other caches empty and sounded the alarm. Nevertheless, I believe it's time for stealth has passed. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals, in order to prevent Titan summoning. First, give me your crystals. I might deliver them onto the Commander Baelden's custody. But do not take them into the bowels of the mountain. Crystals, Lions, if you'd be so kind. Thank you. I shall deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Commander Baelden on the situation. But go on ahead. As I recall, there's an aetheryte within Ogumaro mines that should deliver you to the navel. Elbow doubtless knows the way. Wait for me there. So I'll join you in none. Strange. I thought you'd eager to remain in the thick of the action. If this is what you would prefer, then Godspeed, brother. It's Alizé. This way. Yeah, I think that's right, Alizé. Alright, let's just fly through all this. I can remember my way through these mines, because they're a bit of a mess. I take it this is the aetheryte we seek. Right then, as soon as Alpha Note arrives, we go. Just you're feeling suitably heroic, Lions. There's no telling what sort of resistance we'll face in there. Quickly, you clods. Briskly, swiftly, quickly. I'll not suffer any further delays. Lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day. Overdwellers, here. How did you... Where are my parents, Patriarch? Where are they? Mother? Father? Look for the furnace. Monster, how could you? Aye. We are but servants to the Lord of the Crags. We are his, and he may drink of our blood and partake of our flesh. He may draw upon the strength of his children to defend them from the tyranny of the Overdwellers. No, Alisaie. Not yet. Understand, Patriarch. I do. Fear, or your hate. You not do anything. You would do anything to protect your people, and to deliver them from despair. Whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten can never do so again. But in your single-minded pursuit of this objective, you have brought suffering on your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody course. Cease your attempts to summon your god and work with us, together, to build a lasting peace. For the peace to be abandoned at the Overdwellers' convenience. Oathbreakers, all of you. Liars, betrayers, oathbreakers. You take and you take and you take, and when you had your fill, you sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last until you grow hungry again. And when we dare to defend ourselves, you declare that this beast tribe cannot be suffered to live, that our god drains the land of ether and brings not but suffering, death, destruction, suffering upon us all. I'll hear no more lies from you and yours, Overdweller. You ruined your lands. You'll not ruin ours. I said I'd come for you, and I did. Here. 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 Please something. Please. Please. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Hells. I'm here. Here. I'm here. Nothing out. Leave him to me. Must away. We're just gonna leave Titan there? Probably not a good idea. By the 12, how could I be so foolish? I should have known better than to let Gabu accompany us, given what he'd like to find. His anguish and despair serve to birth a primal, just surely as the supplications of the faithful. Worse, being born of such tumultuous emotions, the incantation of Titan seems incapable of naught but violence. If one cause for optimism is while the many crystals were present, represented at a fraction of the quantity intended for the summoning ritual, and a Titan will be far weaker than planned. Be as it may, he is still yet a primal, and the longer we leave him to bleed the land of Aether, the stronger he will grow. Should Titan be permitted to leave Ogomero, more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops and the cycle will continue. Lion, you know what must be done. Face the Lord of Crag once more. Thank you, my friend. Alize and I will tend to Gabu. You have finished with the primal. Look for us in Camp Overlook. We'll be expecting you. Confront the Titan and Naval Hard. Okay. I wonder. It's probably a very stupid idea. Go ahead and give this a shot. Yeah, that's going to be the hard part because I don't think I can actually defeat the jail, which kind of sucks. last thing I need. I could almost do it. But a little too difficult. We're gonna go over to Tail Feather. See, this should give us enough chocobo for tabletop, which, okay. All the blasted 7 hells. Some beasts make it off of my hard-earned chocos before I can gather them for the traps. Also, my men say it's one of the biggest bears they've ever laid eyes on. I have a plan to lure out the greedy bugger, but I need someone reliable to take it down for me. Right, many more reliable than you. Fix your choco meat and place it where my men reported the beast's last sighting, then lie in wait till it shows itself. I'm sure you'll make quick work from it from there. And there we go. Wasn't a long wait. Alright, this should go down pretty quick. Okay, don't really need that. Let's go ahead and drop it on the tank, because why not? Alright, that's good. We're going to go back to Camp Overlook. Ah, there he is. I'll tell you that he would return safe and sound. He is dead then. Titan is no more. Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. He's been like this since he regained consciousness. I believe he can hear us, but he's no attempt to respond. He's almost certainly still in shock, but can I discount the possibility that he succumbed to the Primal's influence? That proved to be the case. Must be put to death, any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes? Have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Yasulei's followers were beyond reason. Many have laid down their arms and accepted Ishgard's peace. We can but watch, wait, and pray. Need the star-filled sky. There is not to be gained by dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which we've never been to pass. Let's tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Eldin of Titan's demise, for example. You'd be certain that he'll be glad of the news. Would you be so kind to break it to him? Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I'd feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. Well settled then, is it? Glad to hear it. Not as glad as my men will be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly or primal's a primal, there ain't a soul in the maelstrom who hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like we're all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which my friend sounds to me like cause for celebration. I know you've got a lot of places to believe, why not stay the night? Be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. So quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness. I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family. than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled grandfather's words to my father, years ago before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
I traveled far and wide with my two companions, Asini and Yasale, who were in rather unique circumstances. I had the pleasure to fight alongside Emmerich, and Alphanite came along. When Alphanite and I came at last to Giovanni Hitherlands. Oh, we'll talk about him and her brother. I think that'll cheer her up.
We had no clear memories of our life in the hinterlands, having returned to the motherland as infants. Nevertheless, I am quite familiar with Master Matoya, as is every Charlayan. I should like to speak with her someday. 'Twould not surprise me if Alphino's recent maturation was at least somewhat due to her sage guidance. I would never tell him this, of course, but there have been moments when I've caught myself thinking of him as an elder brother. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Kinda give it away with the way you speak. You're the only character in the entire game who has this old English way of speaking.
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say! It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardour belongeth not unto the Asians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw him out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Okay. Let's see what Oriange is up to. Well, Lines, I trust you had a good night's rest. I was but a moment speaking with Thancred and Y'shtola via Link Pearl. They have some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of our respective investigations, both came across crates which once bore Ishgardian seals. It seemed that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes it's only a matter of time before the culprits are found. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems pertinent to look into recent activities of the other tribes. In case you are too flush with Ishgardian crystals, and with that in mind, wait Oriange another... Wait, where's Alice? She was here a moment ago. Gabu. Where you at? There she is. Let me guess. It's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. With any consolation, I have already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Boyldon. Someone tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with the same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there. I can know what? Beneath the anguish and despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance until he comes back to us. We know for certain what has become of him. Aye, you needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help us secure a better path to the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. Won't soon forget that, or will Maelstrom command. Oh, sorry, Gabu. I really am. You should never have been made to... I know I can't possibly understand. Perhaps there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. When it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with the love for them. Never ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alisaie. Thank you. Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time he will recover. Those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. A thousand times over, be a reckoning. We have heard the glad tidings from Mogomero, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Lomensa may rest easy. I should like to thank you. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Crags from manifesting, we succeeded in weakening him, enabling our friend to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. No means of unmitigated success, but a device. Let us speak of another matter, one which lays heavily on my lady's mind. As thou didst request, I sought out the Goron oracles. May better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, art yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. 7 times have they succeeded. 10 out of 3, only 6 worlds remain. Aye, all is as my lady Minfilia spake unto thee? As to what becometh of these reflections when they in the source are rejoined? Frail flesh undone in umbral fire, each soul surrender to her call, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Then if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die. In essence, the verse speaketh of the ruination of the flesh and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the matter of the Warrior of Darkness described, give way unto the void where none may know life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew, saved. Such at least is their belief, I surmise. That is true, then, gods. one should ever be made to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on the subject, I would share with these another recent discovery. It seems there were several sizable shipments of crystal be delivered unto the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegans? Strange. You believe this to be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? Now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Ascians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Ralgar. Individuals who took receipt of those shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest you to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elaine Roylane's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it's not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted down by the Alliance, I'll imagine some villains are being desperate enough to conspire with the Ascians. Somebody didn't even know or care who their new employees are. All of which is irrelevant. Give me. I must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Lions, Alize, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they say for themselves firsthand. You ever walk in the light of the crystal? Alpha Node, Alize, Lions, are you three listening? Good, I have tidings. Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. First, our interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in employ. I hope you're sitting down of a man in black robes. And you have them. Crystals too? What few remained, regrettably it would seem to dispatch one final shipment in the hours before we struck. It was bound for Little Alamigo, as we were told, or be received by a member of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence. We learned of the shipment a few moments ago. Huh, and here I was thinking I might be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and his little helpers. Oh, wait a moment, there's more. I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers were formerly in the employ of one Elaine Royale, the infamous Ivy herself. Once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that... Thancred, whom else have you shared this information? Among the smugglers? No one, as I think I mentioned. The raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact your Stola next. There was someone else you should have me notify first? No, there isn't. The world has gotten into her. It's twice now she has sought Oriange's aid, and twice she's treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of the grandfather's most dedicated pupils and spent as much time in the Oliviera estate as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Be told I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though. Little Alamigo awaits. Okay, so that should be instead of Thanolin. Just put it out there real quick. To the bottom of this. Forgive me, it's been a long day. Did you have something to say? Oriange? Always struggled to understand what was going on in his head, now more than ever. Listen, Lions, if anything should happen, it should be me but I'm prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters. We have no idea where Thancred might arrive, it's just we see what information we can gather in his absence. Yep, I've cleared all the quests here. After the review, we are reliably informed that the members of the Alamegan resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals. Our task is being ascertained who and why. In the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here would wholly unaware of the resistance group. The challenge, of course, would be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces, Lions. Why not question the residents in the eastern half of town? Alize and I will do the same in the west. Otherwise, we will rendezvous here to share our findings. The Resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be any of use to them. If you're set in stone, if you set store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. I'm too old for the mass bedtime stories. That is your lot. It's time we got used to it. Weird way to say that. I see you there, going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin, as his lot, I'll bet. Seems that there's been the talk of little Alamigo these days. Folks wonder on what he's about. He's got in store for the Garleans and what's under that mask of his. Some say he's hardly got a face with all the scars. They reckon he's been marked by death by the Empire, and he'd be sitting a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Guess it's as good as mine. Let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? Need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamigan's heart, he's also inspired more than a few Aldins to pledge themselves to the cause. Little wonder the Garleans won't stop until we're all under the yoke. I suppose I should ask what you've learned, but I think I already know. The Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly found faction within the Resistance, Masks. Despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them, only that they're the most aggressively military group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamiga's liberation is unrivaled, and but hope the revolution fervor is never channeled into the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident this is the group which received the crystal shipments, yet lack proof. In any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions. I'm going to enlist his help and while I'm at about it. Given that you and Godebold are already acquainted, perhaps it would be best if you took the lead, shall we? Much as it pleases me to see you again, Lions, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. Here, yours have been asking questions. Griffin. Yeah, I know of him, as we all. He and his mask have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive nature, he certainly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. I am drawn to his passion and his vision. I believe that he has what it takes to lead into victory. I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished. I have not forgotten Wilfred. I was blind to the dangers of ambitions. You were not. Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken Temple of Corn. Go and see with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. But a pity Thancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. Stay behind and wait for him. Begun already. I hear the voice coming from within.
Brothers and sisters!
You'll have to give me 1 second.
20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us. And they have murdered us. But no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Arbania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
Hey, it's Eden Papalimo.
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. You, though it was pretty obvious you and Lions would be fine. Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by better parts of Eorzea. If you truly believe that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? We're paying a favor. At the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we've been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo, all at great risk to themselves. Couldn't let them go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, the Lower Rito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves and that General Raban had been reinstated. We resolved to make contact, having long since disregarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure. Our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to the carrier. I gathered from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread word about within the community, very strict about communications with outsiders. Oh, we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the signs of the Seventh Dawn. Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think that a man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator, with a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for a majority of the public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. What? It's not if I'm making all of you wear one. Mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, to get a better sense of the man. But good it did. And now you've heard the whole of it. Tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning. Can't be serious. I can't believe it. Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin? Well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence that he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late. Yes, I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in context of the shipment of you spoke, not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll have to find out together. If anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, it is reassuring assuming you will have us. If, as you suspect, the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must need to obtain confirmation that there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose we question his double. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. And while he may not be aware of his most sensitive details, he'll tell us the mask's plan in broad strokes. Like the man whom he impersonates, however, he's weary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without a suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Alphanode will suppose his adventures fallen on hard times, inspired by his words to take up arms for a noble cause. Peter and I, members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person. We'll arrange a meeting. You will need to look the part, as we maintain the charade, until we have him cornered at least. Here, this should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Talbot, and have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Questions? All seems simple enough. Thank you. With that, Lions, let us be off. Talbot was in the Little Alamigo. He was one of the people we talked to before. You want to buy what? What you're up to, but I want no part of it. Oh, you're the ones with the gill, and seeing as you're friends with Papalimo. There, tunic and slops for the both of you. Tailored and treated to your taste. Now off with you before someone sees us together. Those make it the man, as they say. Right then, I will go and change, and see you at the spot Papalimo marked on our maps. Wearing the weathered shepherd's tunic. And the slops, I think it is, over here. Well, look at us. A pair of down-at-the-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture past glories. This should suffice. Well, we play the waiting game.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Alamegan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Alamigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honorable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Alamigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amalja?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light? Aye. I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave man can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago. On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
That was a long time ago.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Alamigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
See, Quarrymill, said. Do you remember? Forgive me, you can't expect to recall every name and face, and besides, it's not if it matters. I've long admired how you live in the present. Focus on problems at hand and always keep moving forward. Keep moving forward together, Lions. Find and secure those crystals. No time for looking back. If you take the Griffin's double at his words, and the crystals are now somewhere within Zaharak, ready to be put to use by the Amalja. Praise Alizé of what we have learned. I'll join you in both Little Alamigo after I have changed. Now that Thancred has finally arrived, mayhaps you could share your latest findings. You mean to tell me that we were worrying ourselves sick, Ida and Papalima were here all along? At least Stola will be relieved and also angry. Mainly angry, I should think. As for the crystals, what choice do we have? Not very well leave them in the hands of the Amalja. For all we know, they were preparing to summon Ifrit as we speak. Make for Zaharak, without delay. Agreed. If there is naught else to discuss, let us depart at once. So they go forth in accordance with the Griffin's plan. Players gather to assume their marks on a stage writhed in flame. Ere long the curtain shall rise, and the drama of which I am author, Gods forgive me, will be at last be performed. Naught else remaineth. They've to stand at the ready and play, ready the chance is seized, and never shall we know it's like again. Confess I expected a warmer greeting, but we must not jump to conclusions, not until we have braved the bowl of Ember. Be ready to engage the enemy at any moment. Take any final preparations, pray do so now. I'll get your signal. On proceeding to the Bowl of Ember, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended you set aside sufficient time to view the scenes in their entirety. Yes.
This isn't right. The Amalja would never leave this place so poorly guarded.
Not willingly, no.
The saviors of Eorzea. Slow as ever.
By the 12. Will you never learn?
You know, you're right. Mayhap it is time for a change of tack. Killing primals, tormenting beastmen, hastening the birth of a new god. It's all a bit much, isn't it? And frankly, we don't have the leisure to do it. But killing the warrior of light, on the other hand, that would soon plunge Eorzea into chaos. One life for one world. A fair exchange! Wouldn't you agree?
Lest you forget, you've more than one opponent.
Carbuncle! Defend me!
I sense you will offer more than mere target practice, unlike your sister.
Alizé!
Did I not tell you, Alphino? I am not the girl I once was. My brother was always the clever one, while my talents lay elsewhere. If you would dare to stand against us, to destroy all that we hold dear, then you shall die by my sword.
Let's finish this.
Alright, let's see if I can actually remember how to do this, because I think there is like a certain way we have to play this. Obviously, I think we go for the white mage first. Fuck the white mage. Scarab, you next.
You shall fall soon enough.
Uh-oh. No, don't you dare.
It ends now. What?
The chains!
You snake! You would betray us as well?
He that holdeth fast unto his convictions shall never count betrayal amongst his crimes, though all the world may call him villain. My path is unchanged, my creed sacrosanct. This I believe with all my heart. But say, warrior of darkness, and speak true, what dost thou believe? that rendering up the souls of thy world in service to the rejoining will grant it salvation? Nay.
By the 12! Oriange!
Mine apologies, Master Alphino. That the brightest light might shine, duty did compel me to walk in darkest shade.
You sweet fool. I was almost willing to believe you had turned against us. I expect a full explanation when this is over. For now, may I assume you have turned your cloak for the last time?
Thou mayest, my lady.
Fucking JoJo pose.
Even odds, then. No matter. We'll crush the lot of you in one fell swoop!
Understood.
Hearken to me. We only have one chance. Channel your ether into my blade that I might strike before the mage casts his spell. I cannot do it alone, but together we can defeat them. Make ready! They come!
Okay, I think we basically gotta alternate between channeling the blade and goddamn this fucking song. It's so good. Okay, we'll channel our ether into the blade of light while he's distracted. There we go. Please get him off me.
I can feel it. Just a little more.
surprised I got out of that in time. No. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, that's great, but I can't do anything in the war. I mean, I'm getting targeted. There. Channel the ether into the blade of light. There we go.
'Tis done! With this blade, I banish the darkness.
No. Not like this.
Alize, are you hurt?
A touch dizzy, but otherwise fine. Thank you.
And there you have it. Our friend is too stubborn to die.
We are far from finished. Or have you never considered how we came to this world?
Crystals? You mean, like the Ascians?
Just so. As the Ascians flee unto the rift twixt planes with crystals of darkness, so did these warriors come hither with crystals of light.
Eloquent, as always. Aye, like the Ascians, we too are beyond death. You cannot defeat that which is eternal.
Wait! Such methods as the Ascians employ require the renunciation of the flesh. You would have had to...
At long last, you see. To save our world, we gave our lives. We were just adventurers trying to make our way. An odd job here, a favor there. We never aspired to be warriors of light. But word of our deeds spread. And soon people were calling us heroes. They placed their hopes and dreams on our shoulders and bid us fight for all that was good and right.
God, this one fucking hurts. Just because it's like, this is basically us.
We fought. And we fought and we fought until there was no one left to fight. We won. And now our world is being erased from existence. We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this. You of all people should understand. We will not falter. We brought our world to the brink of destruction, and now we must save it.
I've died before, Arbet. I'm not afraid to die again.
No matter how many times we fall, we must rise and carry on the fight for those we left behind.
To have known the depth of sorrow and embraced the highest sacrifice. Nonetheless, Master Louis-Soix, guide my hand, I pray you, as fate's thread spinneth upon this most capricious spindle. Quickly! Thou must needs invoke the power of thy crystal.
What is this place?
Such pain. Such sorrow. Oh, my dear children.
It can't be.
Mother Heidelin, hearken unto your children's plea. From two worlds do we gather, and from two worlds do we offer a bounty of light. In this desperate hour we do beseech your intercession. We beg an audience with the word of the Mother, with your chosen Minfilia.
Your cries go not unheard, nor your sacrifices unnoticed. Though many are lost, there are those we can yet save, whom I can yet save.
Minfilia.
Blessed children of the First, the light of your world hath grown blinding in its radiance, but it is not yet absolute. I will hie me to your world, and there take unto myself the light which riseth even now to drown it, as darkness once did drown another.
Now you deign to answer our prayers? I will suffer this farce no longer!
As the Ascians must serve as instruments of Zodiark's will, so too must others carry out the will of Hydaelyn. But for the boon you have granted her, she has grown strong enough to set me free, that I might serve as her emissary. Your suffering, your sacrifice, your supplications, she has heard all. We will not let the first fall to light. Thank you, Urianger, for bringing everyone here. It fills my heart with joy to look upon the faces of my friends once more.
In taking you unto her bosom, I knew that Hydaelyn had bequeathed to you a sliver of her grace, granting you strength long sought. And in treating with the Ascians, I learnt of a star like unto our own, a doomed world of fallen heroes in whom I glimpsed ourselves, the first. Full long did I search for a means to save this world, concluding at the last that the answer lay in the power of blessed crystals. And thus did I labor to set light against dark. Yet I knew from the beginning that this salvation would not come without sacrifice. For the instrument of the first's deliverance would of necessity be required to journey thither, there to remain, mayhap forever.
You orchestrated all of this, not to save her, but to send her away!
One life for one world. Such was the bargain, and you the coin, though it were not mine to spend.
Have we not walked together in the light of the crystal, and at her bidding borne witness to the joys and sorrows of this land? Each and every one of you knows my heart. If this be the price I must pay, I pay it gladly.
You would go alone, then?
My dearest Thancred, you who have ever watched over me, I am truly grateful for all you have done on my behalf. Your kindness, your compassion, your love. These are your gifts to me, and our gifts to them, forming a bond which transcends time and space.
Sometimes I forget you are not the child I once knew. Make me proud.
Long have I watched you from Hydaelyn's side, watched as you nurtured and kept safe the light of the dawn. The dark recesses of the world hide untold secrets and dangers. Thus do I entrust to you, Tupsimati. I pray you, keep to the path that you may never have need of it.
Twould seem the power of our crystals is all but spent. Perhaps, if there is naught else to be done.
Hear me, servants of Hydaelyn. you would have us place our trust in you, then I would ask a favor. Take us with you. Take us home. We were blind to the truth once, so I tell you this, as one fool to another. Light, dark, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to use them. We made our choice and you see what came of it, so please, forge a different path. Seize a better fate.
It is a strange feeling. So many times have I watched you depart, my heart filled with worry. And ever did you return to me in triumph. Someday, when I have found a way to free this star from her sorrow, I promise you I shall repay the favor. Thank you, Lemmy, for everything.
God damn. It seems we are at South Denelin again. Menphelius doing, no doubt. Made a 12-speeder on our way. Warrior of Darkness, too. Can I help but wonder what awaits these wayward souls? It lies in order to travel to the source. Returning to the Force would be not... Perhaps that was their wish. This gives us a wind-up in Breda. Forgive me. That's where elsewhere. Where I know full well that there is yet work to be done. Crystals. Leave them to me. I'll go back to Zanharak and secure them. The Amalja will still be in disarray after thrashing the warriors of darkness gave him. They're not like to notice a lone bard soaking about. Thancred, you don't have to do this? I know, but I want to. I will see you with the Rising Stones. I should go find Yida and Papalimo. They have finished searching the mass camp by now. Not that it matters anymore. Must be tired, Lions. I know I am. If thou would permit me, my lady, I would ask a question. Did thou become aware of mine independent pursuits? When I saw you meeting with the Warrior of Darkness in the Askian and White at the Great Library, I tried not to think of the worst. You were one to confide in others, so I knew that even had your intentions pure, you would not share your plans with us until you had felt the time was right. I cannot deny that part of me feared that you simply betrayed us. But that there were another way. I took no pleasure in deceiving thee. These sins will forever weigh on my heart. Understand why you did what you did, but sought to achieve the greatest good while inflicting the least harm. Not many would have courage to make that choice. Knowing what came of your actions, I cannot condone them. I'm sorry. Lions, forgive me, but I believe the events of the day have taken their toll on me. I'd like to rest for a while. If thou would grant me leave, I would gladly escort thee to a refuge of thine own choosing. My lady hath regained her strength. We shall join thee at the Rising Stones. Till then, Warrior of Light. Okay, now we gotta go track down Papalimo. can't tell if he's actually inside the little Alamigo or if he's just waiting outside of it. Yep, there he is. Ah, there you are. We finished our search, in case you were wondering. Well met, Lion. Sophanos said you'd be joining us. It seemed that Griffin's double was telling the truth, so far as we found nothing resembling a sizable cache of crystals in the Mast's camp. Chance to find one in Zoharak? Actually... I don't believe it. Crystals, Minfilia, all of it. It's just... well, what it is. Sympathize, Ida. Even though I struggle to comprehend of what I saw. The only thing I will say with any certainty is I feel blessed to have granted a final chance to speak with her. Bittersweet, also affirming. Alphanode, I believe it is past time Ida and I rejoined the Scions. Been away for far too long. Though I am loath to leave the Griffin to his own devices, I fear our investigation would benefit from your more dispassionate perspectives. I hope that we might, in turn, offer our own opinions on the many challenges that have faced in our absence. It's been absolutely ages, hasn't it? Can't wait to hear about everyone's adventures. Be glad to recount them, and Tataro's tales may well surprise you. Ida, Ralgar be praised, it is you. Ida, alive and standing before me in the flesh. I could hardly believe my eyes. Oh, come now, it's been so long you don't remember me? It's Gondobald, up beside your father in the Revolution. Not think less of her friends. It's been 20 years since the occupation sent us our separate ways, but the resistance is always welcomed in Little Alamigo. They gave us hope, young Yida most of all. Yida here was always full of fire, ever since the first volunteer for her mission, until the day she up and vanished, that is. Rumors, and we fear the worst. Here you are, alive and well, looking nary a day older. What can I say? I'm sorry for running off like that and making you all worry. It's a long story, you see. I got involved with my friends here, the Scions. Sorry. You're still the circle of knowing back then, right? Anyway, I wanted to come back and tell you, but it was all very secretive stuff at the time. As you can see, I'm completely fine. I know we've got a lot to talk about, and we will, but right now I've got to hurry back to the headquarters. Friends are expecting me. Pray forgive her. It has been a very long day for us all. I promise we will all visit again at the first opportunity. Let's return to the Rising Stones. Must take me for giving you that mask. Actually, kind of forget where we're going. Is it Horizon? I think it's Horizon. Wait, no. I'm in the wrong location. Welcome home, Alliance. I trust your journey was uneventful. We're pleased to hear that Dankred has secured the crystals. It word a short while ago. As he's delivered him safely to Temple Knight's care, he will rejoin us here, and we will declare the matter officially resolved. While awaiting your arrival, I took the opportunity to contact Y'shtola and Krael, briefed them on all that has occurred, requested that they return to the Rising Stones at their earliest convenience. Now that our lost friends have been found, it would seem meet to discuss the future.
Back in the Solar. It's been too long since we were all together like this. Not since after Moonbreeder.
Much has changed since then. We ourselves, most of all.
Though not all who were lost could be gathered here today, we may take comfort in the knowledge that those who are not are carrying on the fight.
While I am grateful to our friends in the north for their hospitality, it isn't half good to be back.
But, as Papalima rightly said, much has changed since we last stood here. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are not as they once were, nor should we be. Our travels in the north brought us into contact with a host of fine and generous people, and their selfless deeds serve to show me that it is not lofty causes that should inform our actions, but our hearts. And I hope that the Scions might continue in this manner, as individuals driven by individual principles. Provided we all sincerely desire to work towards Eorzea's salvation, I believe the paths we follow to achieve it need not, and should not, but...
Companions bound by a common purpose, free to go whither they will. The idea is not without merit. Very well. I shall resume my research of the primals and the elder gods of Eorzea. Should anyone have need of my findings, you need only ask. I should be glad of your continued assistance.
Well, my main purpose in coming here was to see the signs of the Seventh Dawn restored and my dear friend found. Nevertheless, having involved myself in your struggles, I feel compelled to see them through to the bitter end. For Minfilia's sake. That is, if there are no objections.
Yeah, there's too many potatoes around here. We can't have more than one.
Welcome here, Krael.
Urianger, can we trust you to carry on your investigation of the Ascians as before?
Regardless of mine own desires, I am undeserving of your trust, having so villainously deceived you all.
Now, I'll hear no more of that. 'Twould be disrespectful of Minfilia's wishes. She entrusted matters here to us, that we might protect this star and understand the truth which hides at her heart. Mayhap I can handle the former, but I think you far better suited to the latter.
Very well. Then out of love for my Lady Minfilia and Moonbreeder both, this shall be my solemn charge.
Papalimo and I should probably return to Thanalan to keep an eye on the Resistance. There's still the matter of the Griffin and the Amalja, not to mention the new Imperial Viceroy. That little lot must be worthy of our attention, right?
Uh-huh. Sure, that's all you're there for.
And what will you do, Alize?
You know I have no great love for organizations and formalities. That being said, this new approach you propose is not wholly objectionable, and we've always got him to keep us from bickering. But I will suffer no titles. I am not here for House Leveilleur, nor to walk in Grandfather's shadow.
Upon that point, we see eye to eye. If it please you, you may think of me as but another comrade in arms.
Well then, Alfie, I, for my part, shall see to the paperwork and the finances with my characteristic aplomb.
I would not have it any other way, Tataru. And we mustn't forget you. What now for the Warrior of Light?
Now we go fishing. Strive for those we have lost and for those we can yet save.
Indeed.
The path behind us was fraught with hardship, and the path before us will be no less unforgiving. But a new dawn shall break over the realm, and I see before me the faces of those who will deliver it.
Might as well turn this quest in. Look at them lines, the signs of the seventh dawn. Far we've come. People we've met, the moments we shared, the losses we've suffered, tragedies we've overcome. All has made us who we are today. Where we go from here, and what the future holds, only the 12 know. But I know we will find out together.
One world's heroes are another world's villains. One world's loss, another world's gain. Where men go as one, there is life. And where there is life, my friends, if I may, I would ask that you entrust Tupsimati to me. Clouds gather upon the horizon, and as Master Louisoix's disciple, I would keep it close at hand. Thank you. I shall guard it well. There is cause to hope. For every ending, every parting, marks a new beginning.
Well done, brother. You resume your normal duties and rejoin the others. The coming battle shall be our greatest yet. And I intend to stand with you all on that glorious day. True believers are so readily led. I have given them everything they desired, by which they have prayed. Do the same for your pawns. Get what you wanted then? All worth it in the end? There were some unexpected developments, but they were ultimately to our advantage. Be it host to a surfelt of light or dark, the world bereft of equilibrium is but a void in waiting. A void is of no use to my master. Shall follow her embassy with great interest. Emissary with great interest. As for the pawns of whom you so pity, delivered unto me a gift, I do now present to you. God damn it, we just got rid of those. We just got rid of those. Guys of Nidhogg, many were the candidates considered, but by your deed you have proven yourself the most deserving. A man of boundless rage and bottomless despair, in whose breast beats a heart which thirsts for vengeance. Only you are fit to wield those eyes, for weal or for woe. Oh, hey, Nero. Huh. It's here all along. Just you wait, my pretty. You and I will be going to have so much fun. Okay, so the next quest is the Tidings of Garabania, which I still believe we're still in Heavensward. We're not quite there yet. But, done with the Warriors of Darkness. I am going to put myself in Ravenstall. Yeah, I don't have enough rested experience yet. Okay, I'm going to end up here, and then probably, I don't know, if I got some time throughout the week I will, but definitely next weekend we're going to continue this and hopefully come to an end for Heavensward.